All right, we're here. We're here. Now, this stream is about what's happening in the tech world, right? So, most people don't know that back in the early 2000s that there was a crazy war, the war of the browsers. And what was happening is that we had so many different browsers, and different search engines. And the grandfather of them all was AOL, America Online. And to be clear about that, most people remember, well, most older people remember dial-up. We don't have that anymore. But dial-up was that crazy sound, right? And they had this wall garden where in order to get online, you had to go through AOL, unless you know how to put in IP addresses, like I did. So 192.168.1 and whatever numbers that come after that to be able to get online. That was before domain was a thing. And let me tell you, after domain became a thing, of course, your boy had bought a few. And I could tell you a couple of stories about domains I've bought and lost the domains. I remember I bought one domain and it was for a very big company, and they got me. They got your boy. They got me. And they said a whole bunch of things, and I had just been a good Samaritan, transferred the domain to them. Come to find out, one of the guys that worked on the team was a team of 3 guys. One of the guys on the team, I guess it got to him of what the other 2 guys did to me. They had $100,000 budget to buy the domain, and I didn't get a cent of the $100,000 because I was being a good Samaritan. They sweet talked me, and I was gullible. But back to the story. So we had so many different browsers and so many different search engines. And like I mentioned, AOL was the dominant player. And you had company like 365 Secure Browser. You had company like Yahoo. Yahoo was another one. And you had another browser called DeepNet Explorer. And then you had Green Browser. And you had Media Browser. And you had Internet Browser. And MSN Explorer. And of course, it has its search engine. And I think they had a partnership with Yahoo. Right? And you had search engines like Dogpile. And one of the biggest search engine out there till today is Firefox. And a lot of these companies, search engine and browsers, build off Firefox's platform. I believe so. Google at one point started their build up of their Chrome browser off of Firefox, and then re-engineer the code to create their own specific browser and search engine. Well, I would say browser, not search engine. They came up with their search engine before. And when they came up with their search engine, they went to Yahoo to buy it, and Yahoo turned them down. Big mistake, right? And then you had other company like Neoplanet, QQ Browser. And like I said, Even certain chat like as what's the chat QC, or I forgot the name of it, but it was a really cool chat. And all of these wars was going on: the chat war, the search engine war, the browser war, right? And you had so many players, and these players over time became dominant, and some became docile and just went away. Microsoft was trying to build their own search engine within their browser, and their browser was called Explorer. It's now called a different name. And at the time, they did a deal with Yahoo and a few other search engine to be able to pull content. Same thing with AOL, so they could pull content into their search engine. All right, so there were so many different search engine. But then when Google got so big, so massive, a juggernaut, and they rolled out their browser, all the other browsers went to sleep. They only wake up for a yawn. They only wake up for a yawn and then go back to sleep, right? And till this day, they are still asleep. So just to understand that it's been decades since Google and Google's Chrome have been dominating the search and the browser segment of the internet. And then now what's happening is that we have OpenAI, and we have so many different AI systems. And these AI systems have been used in such a way that people are not really using Google's Chrome and Google search as much. Like, I think it's like 800,000 people. No, not 800,000. I think it's 80 million. Let me look at the numbers. 80 million people use ChatGPT a day. So let me type in how many people use ChatGPT daily. Right? So, 80 million people, approximately 80 million people, weekly active user with a daily message surpassing 2.5 billion globally, according to recent data from OpenAI. The total number users is not disclosed, but estimate at 700 million to 792 million weekly users, and is consistently increasing. So we know we have a dominant player in finding information, because here the AI is going out and scraping the internet to be able to give all the information as accurate as possible to what we're looking for. And you can literally have a conversation with them, right? You can literally have a conversation with OpenAI. And because you can have this kind of conversation, it's almost like you're talking to a real person. Imagine that. Think about going online and talking to a person and asking them questions, and you're talking to a robot.
Facts.
How incredible is that? So now, here is the issue that I think Google is going to be facing quickly. OpenAI, ChatGPT has created their own browser, which is called Atlas. And let me bring that in. So, without further ado, here we go.
Good morning. Today we're going to launch ChatGPT Atlas, our new web browser. This is an AI-powered web browser built around ChatGPT. It's something we've been super excited about and working hard on for a long time, and really excited to share with you today. We think that AI represents like a rare once-a-decade opportunity to rethink what a browser can be about and how to use one and how to sort of most productively and pleasantly use the web. Tabs were great, but we haven't seen a lot of browser innovation since then, so we got very excited about the opportunity to really rethink what this could be. And in the same way that for the previous way people use the internet, the URL bar of a browser and the search box were a great analog, the way that we hope people will use the internet in the future, and that we're starting to see, is that the chat experience and a web browser can be a great analog. So we got to work designing a browser based around this kind of experience. The browser is already where a ton of work and sort of life happens, and we think that by having ChatGPT be sort of a core way to help you use that you can chat with a page, you can use ChatGPT to find stuff, you can use an agent mode with ChatGPT in a browser, way more stuff that we'll show you and you can try out later. We can take this pretty far. So we are excited to jump into a demo. Have some colleagues here. We'll start with Ben for introductions, and then we'll show you what we've got.
Great, thanks, Sam. I'm Ben, I lead engineering for Atlas. So Atlas started with a question. What if you could chat with your browser? And from that idea, we reimagined the entire experience, replacing years of clutter and complexity with simple conversation. We wanted to make sure that Atlas didn't feel like your old browser, just with a chat button that was bolted on. But instead, we made ChatGPT the beating heart of Atlas. It's always by your side and ready to help as you move across the web. I find that when I use Atlas myself, I'm more curious. I ask more questions. I think it's made me, just like I said, a more curious, better informed person. We also made sure that Atlas is fast and flexible enough to support some amazing new experiences that we'll show you shortly. It's a new kind of browser for the next era of the web, and we can't wait to show you what it can do. So Adam, do you want to take us through some of the features?
Yes, my name's Adam, product lead for Atlas. And as Sam and Ben mentioned, a little bit about why we built Atlas. I'm going to share a little bit about what Atlas is. So first, Atlas should feel very familiar. So it has all of your tabs, bookmarks, autofill for password, all the things you're used to. And then there's three special core features of Atlas that Ryan's going to walk you through in a bit. The first is chat comes with you anywhere as you go on the web. So no longer do you have to copy and paste between tabs when you're working on writing an email or a document. As you have that website up, it'll just be right there for you if you invoke it, and it'll have context of what you're working on, so it can be more helpful. That's chat anywhere across the web. The second big feature is browser memory. And we talked a lot about this when we were building it, but memory is such a critical feature in ChatGPT that people and users love today. And that's because as you use ChatGPT more, it just gets more personalized and helps you better and understands you much better. Now that's going to happen as you go on your browser across the web in Atlas. And it just should be more personalized and more helpful to you. And then the third, which we're really excited about, and Justin's going to show this later, is Agent, which is in Atlas, ChatGPT now can take actions for you. It can do things. So it'll actually bring up a little cursor, start clicking around when you ask it to. It can help you book reservations or flights, or even just edit a document that you're working on. And we're really excited to share this with you. So Ryan, our lead designer in the project, is going to show you a tour of Atlas.
Thanks, Adam. All right, so I get to do the demo of the core flows in Atlas. What you should see here is your home screen. This is what you'll be presented with when you first download and open the app, or anytime you create a new tab. We tried to create an experience here that will feel totally familiar coming from a traditional browser, but with all the power of ChatGPT baked in. To that end, you'll see there's a composer in the center of the screen where you could ask Chat a question like normal. You can get to all of your tools, your models, and your sidebar with all of your chat history. But because it's a browser, you can do more. type Hacker News, Chat's going to take me to the URL. I could reference a bookmark in human language, and it's going to open my commits for this Galaxy diff. You can use browser memory to search your web history for something that you know you've seen before, but you don't know exactly where it is. So let me say, search web history for a doc about Atlas core design. No, I made this somewhere. Searching your browser memories. And there you go. It looks like it found the doc I'm talking about. It's in my Google Docs. If I tap it, you'll see it'll open there. Let's jump back to the homepage for one final feature. So below the composer on Atlas, you'll see suggestions. These suggestions are kind of the first version of personalization in Atlas. It will be generated for you based on what Atlas understands about what you've been up to or might be trying to do next. They can be as simple as a news story it thinks you might be interested in, or as advanced as an agent task that's going to delegate through for you and kind of click through your tabs. The more you use Atlas, the better these suggestions get. And again, it's very much a V0 of personalization, but we're really excited to see where the homepage of the browser goes as we delve deeper onto this. Okay, so that's the home screen. Now I'm going to hop over to that GitHub example and show you my personal favorite feature. So here I have some code I was working on this morning. It's a shader for a little Galaxy generator. And in the top right, there's this Ask ChatGPT button. You'll see this on any website you visit. And when you click it, it creates a companion sidebar. It's basically you inviting ChatGPT into your corner of the internet. You can do all of the things you would expect to be able to do with ChatGPT, but now it can see whatever that specific web page is. It might sound simple, but it's actually been a major unlock for how I use the browser. It's kind of gone from this tool that's very much about displaying information for you to edit into this tool that understands the information it's displaying and in some cases can even edit it for you. So it has a suggestion here to just summarize the contents of this diff. Let's ask for that and see what it says. All right, it's a commit said even more Galaxy. It's updating a few of the visuals and how this particle generator works. This is cool, but what I really want to know is this safe to cherry pick into the RC launching today?
I thought we said no more changes today.
There's always time for one more. Okay, it thinks this is pretty low risk.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure I totally agree with that one, but it is just a visual change. And that's side chat. You can use this in a wide variety of cases. Comparing products, bringing it into your own corner of the internet. I use it a lot for pull requests or Slack when I want to summarize a channel I've been reading. It's really useful and we're excited for you all to try it.
I think also Ben mentioned how it makes you more curious. Now that you have this by your side, you just ask a lot more questions, which I really love about it.
Totally. It's a little bit of a paradigm shift where you go from just having this sort of one call, one response to you can kind of keep workshopping until you get what you're looking for, which is very in keeping with chat.
Yeah, I often find I'm browsing, I just keep this thing open and I just like flow questions into it as I go.
Totally. Speaking of keeping it open, let's take a look at search, which has some more of this side chat to show. So I'm going to search for this movie I want to see. And we've made some major upgrades to search on ChatGPT when accessed via Atlas. So we know that search is kind of one of the core flows in a browser for navigating the internet. And a lot of these searches can be very keyword-based or short. And LLMs traditionally struggle with that where they don't have enough context to provide a great answer. So one of the first things you'll notice is anytime you search within Atlas, you get these tabs across the top. You can quickly pivot your experience into something more like a traditional search engine with images, videos, or news stories, all without losing that core chat experience on the Home tab. So here, scroll down, some nice images, a few updates on what this is. Let's see if we can find a link. I'll take this Roger Ebert review. It's given it 4 stars. One really interesting thing here is that whenever you click a link from a search result in Atlas, by default, it's going to slide chat over and open the web in a split view. Now, if you don't want that, you can always command click the link or just click the Ask ChatGPT button and close it. But it has this kind of nice property of you have a companion with you as you search the internet. So maybe I want to go to a different review here. I'll try this Yahoo one.
Haven't you already seen this movie? What's your review?
I've seen it twice.
Imagine this, guys. Just imagine this. You're having a thought and you write it in the browser, and it's like you're having a conversation with the browser. It is incredible. This will change search as it is today. It will no longer be that way. And now Google have to play catch up with Chrome. And there are other international browsers out there and search engines out there, but like DeepSeek, which is over in China, and other AI companies developing their initiatives. But just think about it. ChatGPT is the leader in this game right now. Is the leader in this game. So let's continue.
Twice, actually. I recommend it. Really, really good, actually. Let's just ask for a quick summary of this review. Can you summarize this review in 5 words or less? Maybe we can get to the meat of it.
This is where I think this new model of search is actually really powerful because it's like a multi-turn experience. Like you can just have this back and forth with your search results rather than just being sent off to a web page. You can use this to really understand.
Totally.
Yeah, that's a great review.
Huh.
PTA's best.
All right, I have to check it out.
That's a high bar. Definitely go. It honestly is great. Okay, for the last demo I'm going to show you in these core flows, I'm going to hop over to my Gmail drafts. So we know a really popular flow in ChatGPT is to draft some writing in a note or a doc or an email, copy that writing, bring it to ChatGPT, workshop it a bit there, maybe change the tone or tenor, language, spell check, grammar, whatever it may be. Get to something you're happy with, copy the output of that, bring it back to wherever you're working, paste it there. With Atlas, we wanted to try to flatten that flow to something that feels like you can just do it inline on any form field or text box on the internet. So here I have an email. I was writing to one of the other designers on the team about this beautiful shader he worked on for Agent. I can just select the text and hit the ChatGPT nub. Maybe I'll just say, tidy my language. Doesn't look like it was my best to begin with back there.
Now I know why your emails are so polished.
Yes, well, all right, there you go. So you get your update. I could ask for another edit if I wanted. It lets you do all of this in line. Then when I hit update, it's going to take whatever your text selection was, replace it just in that. It allows you to perform really scoped edits in a super useful way. We call it cursor chat. Really excited to see what people do with it. Let's hit send, fire that off to Omar.
Awesome.
There we are. Those are the core flows for ChatGPT Atlas.
That's awesome. Great work, you guys. Thanks very much. So that's a little bit about what makes ChatGPT in your browser just an easier part of your daily work. One thing that you can see a little bit of there, but really comes through when you use it, is this is just a great browser all around. It's smooth, it's quick, it's very nice to use. But now we want to show you a more advanced feature, which is agent mode in ChatGPT. And so Pranav, Justin, and Will are here to show you that.
Hey everybody, my name is Will Ellsworth, and I'm the research lead for the agent in Atlas.
My name's Justin. I'm an engineer on the Atlas team.
And I'm Pranav, one of the product leads on Atlas.
And we get to show you how Atlas is able to browse the web and do things for you in agent mode. There's honestly so many different ways you can use this, right? Maybe you want to hand off a task that you're just not interested in doing, or you want it to teach you how to do something in software you've never seen before. This is a preview, but honestly, we've just been blown away by how powerful this agent can be with full access to your browser and your personal internet. That makes safety really important, right?
Absolutely.
And so we've built safety into every part of our stack, from the model all the way to the product experience, which Pranav will tell us a bit more about. But why don't we see it in action?
Let's rock and roll.
Let's do it.
All right, so we have been planning a haunted house.
Really excited for
Yeah,
this.
I'm pumped. And for whatever reason, I got roped into being the project manager for this. And we have a Google Doc that we've been using to kind of informally plan out our tasks. And so you can see, some people have filled in their current week's tasks. And unfortunately, there are a couple of issues here. So the first problem is, as you can see by the to-dos,
Now, they're using Google Doc. But is it far-fetched to think that they won't create a Atlas doc, a ChatGPT Atlas doc? Obviously. Google is the blueprint. Like Yahoo was the blueprint for Google, Google is now the blueprint for ChatGPT Atlas. And they're going to mimic, or should I say duplicate, almost everything that Google has done. And of course, you want to succeed, you follow the leader, you follow the person or the business that have success or have succeeded in their endeavors. Therefore, I honestly believe that they are going to create their own doc. All right, let's continue.
People have not filled in their current week's task, and so I would love to leave a comment politely reminding them to do so. And then second is, while Google Docs is this amazing tool, we also have some more formal task management software called Linear. And I would love to take all of the current week tasks that have been filled out and convert them into linear tasks, or in the linear verbiage, issues. So the tough part here is I have very little project management experience, don't really know how to use Linear.
I don't know why we put you in charge of this.
Yeah, beats me. But I therefore would love to just delegate this to agent mode in Atlas and have it take care of this for me. And so what I can do is I can click this agent mode here, and you can just find this with the plus button, selecting agent mode. And I'm going to kick this off. And this agent mode tells ChatGPT that I want it to actually take actions on my behalf inside of Atlas. And so you see it has its own cursor. It's going to be clicking around as if it were me, has access to all of my local authentication, all of my history. It should really feel like a natural extension of myself. And I'm going to hand off over to Justin.
Yeah, the team paid a lot of attention to the product experience here, right? We really wanted to make it feel like it was coming alive, and you could see exactly what the agent was doing, so you could start to build trust that it was, doing what you wanted it to.
But yeah, just to emphasize this point, this is ChatGPT in agent mode using your web browser for you locally. It's got all your stuff. It's clicking around for you. You can watch it, or you can't. You don't have to. But it's just like really, it's using the internet for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like right in your tab, and that's one of the cool things about the experience of using Agent in Atlas.
So it looks like it is kicking off. So one thing that's really nice is that I don't need to sit and watch it, right? I can let it just do its thing in the background and use my browser for other things. So here we have a recipe. We're planning a potluck, right?
Yeah, really excited about this recipe.
Yeah, and so I'd like to show you how we can use Agent for things in your personal life. So one thing that I always struggle with recipes is figuring out what ingredients I need to buy, right? It's somewhere in the recipe page, it's some serving size, I need to figure it all out. So I like to use Atlas to ask ChatGPT, what ingredients do I need to buy to cook, do I need to cook this for 8 people? And ChatGPT is going to go ahead and read the web page, figure out the ingredients, kind of do some math for me, and tell me exactly what I need.
So useful.
Yeah, in the past I've told it that I like my shopping list organized by grocery aisle to make it a little easier to shop for. And looking at this, I have most of this, honestly. I just need the meat and the produce. So I'm going to say, can you order the meat and produce for me? And we'll shut off how you can start agent mode by clicking a button, right? Which is really useful if you know to reach for it. But in those moments that you don't, ChatGPT can figure out that the way to accomplish this is to take over your browser, right? You're always in control. You always have the option to approve or reject it. So I'm just going to click continue to hand the task off to Agent.
Yeah, and I love how collaborative Agent is in Atlas. So you can just hand off your tabs. You can go back and forth, and we've really improved Agent a bunch to make sure that it's a lot better and faster at these collaborative tasks. And as you can notice, like at any moment in time, you could take control. And so one thing that's really great about this is like Agent already knows that Justin likes to shop at Safeway, on Instacart, and so it knows exactly where to go when all he said was, can you order this for me? And so it's found its way over to Instacart, and it's starting to search. You can see how it types way faster than I do. And
I pride myself in my typing speed, and this is just blowing me out of the water.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly, and it started adding items to the cart already. And so I wanted to
Imagine how lazy people are going to be. Listen, most of us are already lazy. And not to knock the millennials or this generation, Gen Z, which are super lazy, right? Super, super lazy. So we know that this kind of service, this kind of software is going to make it so simple. So if you're going to cook and you want to know what the portion is, or should I say the portions are that you need to get to cook the right amount of food and not be too wasteful, you just put it in and it will just do the work for you. This is Google search on steroids. Before, you would have to go to Google, type in, and it will move you over to or suggest some different links for you to go to find what you're looking for. Not anymore. Not anymore. This is going to make search simple because it's just going to pull up what you need on the spot and you just pick it right from the browser and you are good to go.
Facts.
Isn't that crazy? That's phenomenal. I can't wait to see this in action. I'm actually stoked. I'm really excited that these guys have created this. I wonder if Google is going to try to buy them. I don't think they're going to sell though. But hey, crazier thoughts have been mentioned, and you see what happened. Case in point, Elon wanted Twitter. $40 billion later, got Twitter. Larry Ellison from Oracle wanted TikTok. $1 billion later, he got it. And also some media companies. So, crazy thoughts have been mentioned. And once you have the money, it's not impossible. But it's quite unlikely that they're going to sell ChatGPT to Google. But let's see what's going to happen. Let's continue.
Take this moment actually to talk about, despite all of the power and awesome capabilities that you get with sharing your browser with ChatGPT, that also poses an entirely new set of risks. And so it's really important to us, in addition to a bunch of built-in safeguards like ChatGPT agent is only ever operating on your tabs. It can't execute code on your computer or access other files. It's just in your tabs. That you're also in control of exactly what you're handing over access to. And so if I open a new tab just to show this off, you always get to decide whether ChatGPT agent is logged in or logged out. And so we really recommend thinking carefully about, for any given task, does ChatGPT agent need access to your logged in sites and data? Or can it actually work just fine while being logged out with minimal access? And that same principle of control carries through to our entire browser experience. Ryan showed off these awesome browser memories that power these suggestions earlier. It's also worth noting that those are completely optional. You can decide whether you turn them on in onboarding or not. You can always see the memories themselves and manage them in settings. And for any time you don't want this to be remembered by ChatGPT, you always can make a new incognito window. And so you'll be able to do this to ask questions like what to do when your palms are sweaty on a live stream.
Asking for a friend, right?
Yeah, of course. And I'm realizing I don't think I want everyone to see the answer to that. So why don't we go back and check out
I don't know if I need you using my computer.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Should we go back and check how the task went?
Let's do it.
So here's our Instacart order. Awesome. You can see that in just about 2 minutes, the agent was able to go through, fill out the cart. And it's just so useful having the cart filled out and delivered to you like this, right? It doesn't need to go all the way to making the purchase order. In fact, it's better for me if I can review what it did and decide to buy or add more things to my cart or whatever else I need to do.
Yeah, 100%. Cool. And then let's take a quick look at the linear task.
Nice.
And so, yeah, looks like it successfully added these tasks to linear. And it's a little hard to see on the screen, but it's also tagged the right people for each task. One cool feature is it shows you relevant tabs at the bottom, so you can see what tabs it's worked on. So I can go back and check the Google Doc and see, great, it looks like it's tagged all the people who had the to-dos, and it's given them a polite reminder to fill this out.
It's going to save me so much time.
Yeah. And save my job because I was not familiar with this whole project management thing.
Yeah.
So we've seen a couple of awesome examples of how ChatGPT can actually control the Atlas browser and perform useful actions on your behalf. And so in the same way that GPT-5 and Codex are these great tools for vibe coding, we believe that we can start in the long run to have an amazing tool for vibe lifing. So delegating all kinds of tasks, both in your personal and professional life, to the agent in Atlas. You know, one of the great joys of working at OpenAI is when we release technology, people outside the company always come up with way more creative ideas for how to use it than we can. Maybe we're just not super creative folks, but I'm really excited to see all the unexpected and cool ways that you can use the agent in Atlas, and we're really excited to ship this. So with that, back to Sam.
We are indeed really excited to ship this. We hope you'll love it. So this is going live today for macOS worldwide. For all of our users, although agent mode is only available to Plus and Pro users for now. We want to bring this to Windows and to mobile devices as quickly as we can. We think people will, you'll love this as much as we do. There's a lot more to add. This is still early days for this project. We think the kind of idea that we're excited about is what it means to have custom instructions follow you everywhere on the web, and as you have this agent that you're having do things for you, getting to know you more and more, pulling stuff together for you proactively, finding things that you might want on the internet and bringing them together, which we showed a little bit of. We think we can push that quite far. So we hope you'll check this out. We hope you will enjoy it, and please send us feedback. Thank you very much.
All right, guys. So what do you think? Leave your comments, like the video, share the video, because this is going to get exciting. I'm already excited. Just to understand that this new phase we're already in the age of AI. Let's not discount that. It's just going to get more advanced. And as time go on and they build these AI facilities to be able to generate the amount of computation power that is going to need to be able to do the quantum calculations that is going to be required to run these AI systems globally, it's just another world that we're going to be in. Just think about it. And folks, listen here. This service is going to displace Google search engine and Google Chrome. If they have not worked their behinds off to speed up their initiatives with their AI system for their search, I don't think Google AI mode is as advanced as ChatGPT's Atlas. No, it doesn't appear that way. It could get there quite fast because Google has the technology, the power, the manpower, the work ethics. They will get it done. But I do believe that ChatGPT is much farther along than Google is, and they would have to play catch up. So with the advent of AI and the robots that's coming out, technology, we are actually going to be having robotics that's looking so real and pulling from information online, like how they are displaying Atlas to be able to do what it's doing and pulling all the information. Pretty much you're having a conversation in real time to get all the information that you want for whatever is it that you want to do, shopping, whether it's food, clothes. This is going to be simple for people that never learn to cook. They're going to be able to just talk, to type the information in and get the feedback, and boom, they're now a chef. Listen, we have YouTube, and YouTube taught a lot of people how to be professionals. YouTube University, for instance, right? So just understand that over the next 6 months, because technology is moving very fast, next 6 months, next year, next 2-3 years, next 5 years, we're in a total different world. Next 10 years, we might be on Mars. They might terraform a part of Mars, and all these people that can afford it will move to Mars. There was a conversation that was being had, and I was privy to hear the conversation because it was quite interesting to me that the reason why Elon Musk is building the electric cars, building the robots, the solar panels, the different initiatives that he's having, being able to fly to space and fly back in the same craft, not crashed, like how NASA have been doing it for a year. It comes back, crash in the ocean, and they have to go retrieve it. It comes back. Elon Musk crafts come back and land. They're saying that over the next several years, there might be an army, a labor force of robot that goes to Mars and build all the infrastructure on Mars, install everything to make it possible for someone to be able to breathe, possibly build a dome where all the people would live, put the community, and be able to move back and forth from Earth to Mars in a few days to bring food back and forth. They might be able to get so successful that they're able to terraform a certain part of Mars. We don't know. They might bring soil from Earth and bring it there, or figure a way to generate soil from and make the soil be able to grow, like regenerative soil, to make it be able to grow crops on Mars. We don't know. I don't know. It might be after my lifetime, right? I'm trying to live to 200 years old, right? So maybe it'll be in my lifetime. But if I'm not that successful to live for 200 years old, my child and other children and my friends' children will be able to see what we haven't been able to experience. But my friends, let me tell you, it's a great new world. Great new world. Just understand that it's just fascinating what's happening. All right. On that note, I will let you go. Enjoy watching this video. Again, like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a friend. And I'll see you on the next one. Okay? Peace, love, and respect. All right? And I always say in closing, remember, question everything. Because if you don't, you may fall for anything. Think and say. Have a good day.